What's up, Internet people? Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Dallas, and I think Percy Jackson sounds like a black name.
I'm Gabby, and I'm back, bitches. But you thought you'd seen the last of me.
And my name's Demi, and it's been 42 days and 3 episodes since we've been able to get Gabby on an episode, but unfortunately we lost Colin in the process. One day I will get them all on an episode. I promise you guys.
I'm starting to not believe you.
One day. I have to believe in myself, because if I don't believe in me, who else is going to?
That's fair. That's very inspirational.
Oh.
Today, guys, it's a Throwback Thursday, and we are going to be discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief.
Yes, the first one.
That is a long name.
I don't think it was originally called Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. I think it was originally just Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief.
I feel like that one's better.
Did they add it because of the sequel?
Yeah, I think they added it for the sake of the franchise. And then the franchise died after the second movie. So,
which it should have. I don't know. All I know is that Rick Riordan. I don't know how to say his name.
I think it's Riordan.
Okay, Rick Riordan did not like these movies.
Yeah, and he has every right not to. But let's kick this off.
Well, here's some background on who did make the movie.
Take.
That is, I mean, it's a take.
It's not a hot take though. It's just a pretty.
Among the people
take.
who read the book, it was not a hot take.
Pretty average.
It's like
take.
It's like how everybody that loves Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, does not speak of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Except we had a better experience than you guys, I think. But Dallas, go ahead and give us the background on the movie.
Yeah, so it's directed by Chris Columbus, who, Chris Columbus.
Should have done better. No, I'm just kidding.
He should have.
Wow.
I'm kidding. Why are we like hurling such hate right now? It's so early.
It's not hate, it's criticism. After he did the first 2 Harry Potter movies, I had faith, man. I had such great faith.
Yes, he did those. He did the first 2 Home Alones. He did Mrs. Doubtfire. He did Stepmom. He did Pixels.
All these movies with kids.
Yeah, he should have done better. Wait, he did Pixels?
He did Pixels?
Pixels, yes.
He has lost his touch. Continue.
Also, he wrote Gremlins and The Goonies.
He also directed Rent, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that.
He did?
Yeah.
Damn, Chris.
But anyway, this movie was written by Craig Titley, and he has written for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Clone Wars, and The Cape. 2 episodes each. So I guess he just does 2 episodes and dips.
I was going to say, so he's done better since then, but I don't know which episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. he wrote, and I don't know which episodes of of the Clone Wars that he wrote, so I can't really...
Yeah, we can't really speak on that.
I can't really speak on that.
But also, happy, very belated 10-year anniversary to this movie, because it came out in 2010.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were in high school.
Yeah, I remember. But the reason why we are doing this as a Throwback Thursday is because it's just been announced that they are doing a Disney Plus TV series based on the novels.
I'm hoping that, well, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. We're going to talk about that later. But for now, let's talk about this actual movie.
True.
The first. Do you guys remember your first experience watching it? Or is this your first time watching it?
First time. Just happened right now.
First time as well. I watched it a couple days ago.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not my first time watching it. I saw it in theaters and I was super stoked when it was coming out, despite the fact that it was very obvious that it was going to be different from the books just based off of the character ages. But I remember being really excited to go to a midnight showing of it, and there was no midnight showing of it, as we discovered that night. So a couple of my friends actually spent the night at my place, and then the next morning we got up and we went to go see it that afternoon. A bunch of us went to go see it, actually. I think Colin was with me when we went to see it.
That would make sense.
I want to say he was, but I cannot confirm, and he can't confirm either, because as he said the last time we did a Throwback Thursday, he doesn't remember these things. So
that's true. What did he forgot seeing Mad Max with you or something?
Yeah.
So and that was only 5 years. That was half the time.
Yeah. So who knows? He might have. He might not have. I remember a few people, but mainly the people who spent the night at my house.
Cool.
But yeah, I remember being excited because I was a fan of the books. I had just finished reading all 5 books within the span of those 2 years.
Oh, there's 5 of them? Wow.
There's
a lot of these books though, right? There's 3 or 4 spin-offs. And
yeah, there's a lot of spin-offs.
On different god pantheons, because there's also one on American folklore as well, right?
Yeah, so Riordan has his own separate series about different gods. So he has his series about the Egyptian gods. He's got the Percy Jackson series, and then he's got the sequel series to the Percy Jackson series, The Heroes of Olympus. And then there's a sequel to that one, I think, which is The Trials of Apollo, which I think is 3 or 4 books in. And then he also
Riordan is busy.
Yeah, and then he doesn't write some like he has, I don't want to say sponsor and I don't want to say produce, but he's like basically he helps promote books about different cultural mythology, folklore, stuff like that within a similar type of genre.
Yes. Rick
Oh, okay,
Riordan
I
presents.
understand.
Yes,
Oh,
that's it.
okay, I
I
understand.
have one in
So
my
he puts
hand.
his name on it. That's the one that's like the American folklore, right,
Yeah.
Dallas?
So
Yeah,
there's a
Christian
lot.
Strong.
Okay, so there's a lot that goes under the Rick Riordan. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
Like umbrella.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes under his umbrella, but he does write a lot of them as well. So, story, let's get into the movie. What did you guys think of the story of this film?
I thought it was cool. There were like things about it that were extra silly to me. Like how nobody could find Percy because his stepdad smelled bad. They're like, his odor mask your godly blood or whatever.
They didn't explain it as well in the movie as they do in the books.
I figured because it's just like, oh, this dude stank, so we don't know where you are.
Also, they didn't exactly explain. Oh, just kidding. They did explain why he had to stay hidden.
Yeah, you know, they're gonna find him.
Well,
but then also
he wasn't supposed to exist.
What exists?
That too. Percy's not supposed to exist.
Yeah, you know, secret babies and all that. But then there's also the same kind of like issues I have with most adventure stories involving kids. Percy chops off a woman's head, and it's just like, niggas die every day, beat. Like, it's not even affected by it. Considering he just found out about all this stuff, like, your first murder is probably going to be a little more of an experience than that.
That's true. Also, here's what I don't understand. Why did they size up the ages? I mean, we'll get there. Actually, never mind.
Why'd they age them up? I don't know. I think that was just a demographic thing. They were trying to appeal to a different audience, which is kind of obvious from like the amount of like inappropriate jokes they make in this film.
Yeah. And like Brandon T. Jackson is a grown ass man, and he looks like a grown ass man. Like,
well, what's funny is Alexandra Daddario was definitely a grown ass woman in this film, but
Logan Lerman is our age. We were 18 when this movie came out, so
yeah, which means he shot it when he was about 17.
It's like Brandon T. Jackson was in Tropic Thunder 2 years before this movie, playing a full adult man. It's just like, I can't. Why did they let him in that high school? He doesn't belong there. He should have been like a teacher date or something.
As somebody who read the books, the story just, man, the story doesn't hit as hard as the actual novel does. And like, of course, everybody's gonna say the book is better than the movie, but in this situation, like, it is severely better than the movie.
Yeah,
it follows the same basic plot, which is, you know, Percy is sent to go find the lightning thief, and it's accused of being the lightning thief. But it's not the same. They take out a lot of stuff that should be there. There's a whole in the book. There's a whole overarching prophecy that takes you throughout the entire series, and then there's a specific prophecy that is what sends him on this quest. He doesn't sneak out to go on this quest. In the novel, he is sent on the quest,
which makes more sense for the Greek pantheon.
Right? Yeah, and then also Persephone's pearls thing that is like the MacGuffin of the entire film.
Yeah.
In the novel, that's not even a big deal. Like, it's a big deal, but it's not a plot point throughout the entire film. It's throughout the entire novel. It's literally just one plot point. It's the thing that he does right before he has to go to the underworld, and he gets it from a messenger from his father.
Interesting.
And he gets all of them at one time. It's not like he spends the whole book looking for these things so that he can finally get to where he's going. No, it's just one of the things he happens to pick up along the way.
Oh yeah, that's very different.
So it's just like you took something that was like a small plot point and you made it the entire plot of the film.
Oh, I get why people don't like this.
Yeah.
It's to the point where like I was watching the film and I was like, where did they get this pearls concept from? And then I went on the Percy Jackson wiki to reread the synopsis of the book because I haven't read it in over 10 years. And I read that portion of the synopsis and was like, oh, this is a thing in the books. It's just not that big.
That's fair. Yeah, I haven't read it, obviously, but Kayla has, and she was next to me while I was watching it, and every time something would happen that was different, she would say how it happened in the book, which is distracting. But like, I get why people who have read it aren't a big fan of the movie. They changed a lot, it seems.
Yeah, they also took out the entire Percy has a rivalry with the god Ares in the book.
Oh yeah, I read about that.
It's a whole big thing. There's a whole fight scene between Percy and Ares, and I remember sitting in the theater and being so disappointed that that scene wasn't in the movie.
And they didn't even mention Ares. They
Ares is like
mentioned
not in the
Kronos,
movie.
but
Then
like
they mentioned
not Ares.
Ares and like those are his sons at the camp, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, like Ares actually
Yep.
plays a part in the book. I feel like the problem with the movie is the movie does not take advantage of using Greek mythology as much as Rick Riordan does in his books.
Also, I feel like the movie doesn't really set itself up well for a franchise either.
It doesn't.
And
They played it
in my
safe.
head, yeah, and in my head, I'm like, that isn't that the point of making this? Is that it's a series that people are like obsessed with, and you can potentially glean like a good 5 to 7 years of content from this that like has a built-in audience. Like, why wouldn't you make? But also, then I started thinking about it, and like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a good movie, but when you can but compared to the book, it's not really all there, you know?
It's not, but it still has most of it. It still
It
has a
does.
lot of the important things that you need in a Harry Potter movie. Like I remember watching Sorcerer's Stone for the first time as a kid and being a little upset that they had taken things out of the book. But now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, they did, but they didn't take
The
out
essence is
things
there.
that would they didn't take out the things that you would need as the book series as the movie series would go on.
Fair.
This movie literally takes out the overarching prophecy and it takes out the prophecies in general.
What's the overarching prophecy?
Ooh, let me go look it up and I will read to you guys what the actual prophecy is.
Cool. But if we're just looking at this movie as a movie, story-wise, it's pretty simple.
It's
And
basic.
it's very clear that even though I guess they were trying to market towards a slightly older audience, it's very clear that this movie is like a children's movie.
But it's not though. That's the thing. Like I wish that there was a podcast where I could literally just read the emails that Rick Riordan released between him and the producers of the film. He was allowed to read the scripts in their early draft stages and he was allowed to give critique and he talks about like the way that they aged up the characters and he talks about the humor in the script and how it's so different from the humor in the books because the humor in the books lands really well. The humor in the movies feels very lowest common denominator, like we're trying to make the teenagers laugh but we don't know how to.
Yeah, it's
I feel like Grover's
dumb.
humor worked for me most of the time.
And it did for me too, and I think that's because it's Brandon T. Jackson.
yeah,
He
I
was
think
good.
so, but it did not work for me.
Yeah. Okay, so the overarching the great prophecy from the entire series of books is a half-blood of the eldest god shall reach 16 against all odds and see the world in endless sleep. The hero's soul cursed blade shall reap. A single choice shall end his days, Olympus to preserve or raise. So literally the entirety of the prophecy, it basically comes down to there is a half-blood child of either Zeus, Poseidon, or Hades who is going to either destroy or save Olympus.
Well, all right. That sounds prophecy-like.
Yes. And they took that out. So you can't really make a whole series based off of that. But they tried to course correct in the second film.
The Sea of Monsters, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking
Characters.
of yeah.
Characters. We should move on to characters.
Yes.
There are
Grover's
three
dope.
important ones.
I like Grover a lot. He's
Grover is dope.
too old to be hanging out in that school, but character-wise,
Mhm.
he's really funny. He's Brandon T. Jackson.
I think I like this version of Grover a little bit better than the one in the book. And well, no, they're just different.
Kayla kept saying they made him cooler.
Yeah, this Grover's cooler.
Was he black in the book?
No, in the books he's like a white hippie.
Okay, yeah. You want to make somebody cooler, you make him black. That makes sense. It's just how you make. That's how you do characters.
But yeah, me and Colin were talking about it, and we were like I can't imagine Grover not being black anymore.
Yeah, right.
No matter what the opinion is on the adaptation from book to movie, I can't imagine Grover not being black.
Yeah, I agree with that change.
So when Disney Plus makes a TV series, like, yo, can we keep him black?
I hope so. I hope they do.
I love
Also,
Grover.
I hope that Rick Riordan has like more control over this.
We'll also talk about that when we talk about this Disney Plus series.
Sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, Grover's cool in this film. The crazy thing is, I like all of the actors in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I also actually like this film. I know I've been giving it a lot of crap Dallas was like, do you not like this movie? And I was like, no, I find it to be a very enjoyable film if I separate it from the book series. But as an adaptation of that series that I love so much, it is a disappointment.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't have that, so I just watch it as itself, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's just an enjoyable adventure movie. I don't think it's amazing, but it's fun. I like Logan Lerman in the movie. I think if you're going to age up these characters, I think he did make a really good Percy Jackson. I thought Alexandra Daddario made a really good Annabeth, although Annabeth was aggro for no reason.
Yo, honestly, let's talk about that because she came off like a weirdo in the beginning of this movie.
Oh, she totally did.
I was like, why is she so aggressive?
One of the first things she says, I definitely have strong feelings for you. I just don't know if they're positive or negative. Like, who says that to someone that they're meeting?
Yeah, this time around, it was weird.
Yeah. Or like, that's one of the lines they would use in the trailer, I remember. And I was
That's
like,
weird.
Yes. She's so aggressive, though. And I'm just like, Annabeth and Percy have kind of a little bit of a competitive spirit when this whole thing first begins because because Annabeth really wants to prove herself and because she's super smart and she knows that she's smarter than him. But like, bro, why are you so... I think what happened was they ended up adding more of Clarice's. Clarice is a character in the book who is a daughter of Ares who like completely dislikes Percy. I think they gave some of her characteristics to Annabeth because I was like, there's no reason for Annabeth to be this aggressive on first meeting.
She was a bit much for the beginning.
Yeah.
But she turned out to be nice.
She sliced him up, man.
I was about to say that. I was like, she slices him up, dude. And which is weird because in the books, she's the one who realizes who his father probably is. That's another thing. In the books, he doesn't know who his father is for a long while.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So it's a thing, but they tell us immediately in the movie. That's so dumb.
In the movie, they're just like, you're a son of Poseidon, Percy. In the books, he like is sleeping in the Hermes cabin because they don't know who his parents are. And, they're like, all right, well, until you get claimed, you have to stay here. And he's just like, well, what if I never get claimed? And they're like,
then you never get to leave. No,
it happens, bro.
Speaking of Hermes, he has a kid.
He does.
He does.
And he seemed really cool. And then, of course,
and
that
then
means
he
he's
was
going to be a dick.
I like Jake Abel. I think it's the name of the actor who plays him.
Yep, that's him. He's one of my favorites too.
I like him.
I just always think of Supernatural.
Yeah, he's on Supernatural.
It's like he's Sam and Dean's brother.
Oh, wow.
That they find out about, and then they just leave him in hell for like the rest of the show.
I think he's supposed to come back for the rest of this last season.
I don't know. I've only watched like
if
the
he's
first
mad, I would let him. He's allowed to be. How long has he been in hell now? Like 4 seasons, 6, 12?
Forever.
Too long.
The show has like 5 billion seasons. Jay Gable was also one of those kids that was on Disney Channel original movies a lot when we were kids.
Was he?
Oh Lord, was he?
Yeah, he was in at least 2.
Huh.
So I'd be like, oh, it's that kid. I know him. And then, so I have like nice, like warm feelings for that actor.
He's good as Luke.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
I kind of wish that they had played more with, again, in the books, Annabeth had a crush on him. Ooh. He was the older boy that she had a crush on because he was one of the main reasons why she made it to camp in the first place.
Also, how do people get to this camp? Like, and how long do they stay?
In the books, the rule of the camp is you can stay all year round, or you can choose to only come in the summer, hence camp, and go back to your parents during the school year. Some people don't have that option, so they stay. So like Annabeth likes to stay throughout the entirety of the year, but at the end of the first book, she decides to start going home during the year and just coming back for the summer. But yeah, how you get to the camp, usually you get a satyr guardian person to protect you as you head over there. I think Annabeth, Luke, and Talia had a bit more issues along their adventure to get there.
Who's Talia?
Talia is a character that's introduced in the second book / movie. She's a daughter of Zeus.
Got it.
That big old slut. And I'm just kidding. Whoa. Okay, and then I have another question. I feel like we should get onto the movie though, because we're really only talking about Percy Jackson right now. Well, I have a question. Is there still like a decree? Is there a decree in the books where like after like what was it, like 70 years ago, like Zeus and Hades and Poseidon couldn't have kids with mortals anymore?
That is a rule in the book, yeah. The big 3 brothers made an agreement and a deal that they would no longer have children with mortals because their children end up being far stronger than any of the other gods' children.
But then Percy Jackson still exists and Talia still exists.
Yeah, rules were broken.
Yeah, that's what they do. Make rules, break rules.
I think we all agree. Grover's the best character.
Oh, definitely.
Percy and Annabeth are, if you're going to age them up, they're fine. Annabeth is a little bit aggressive, but I do like Logan's performance and I do like Alexandra's performance. It's a little too on the nose with the romance, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I feel like most of the performances are a little bit on the nose, with the exception of Annabeth, who softens as the story goes on. But she was a little bit like a giant stereotype of an aggro girl at the beginning too.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with the cast the secondary cast that they got. I forgot Uma Thurman was in this film.
Dude, I didn't know that like half the adults were in this film.
Yeah, I was like,
Rosario
Sean Bean is in this
Dawson?
film.
Yeah,
Oh
Sean
my gosh.
Bean and like the guy from
Okay. But
Homeland.
Rosario Dawson as Persephone, was that not a look?
Yo, she
I
was.
didn't really like it.
You
I
didn't
love
like that?
look.
I like Rosario Dawson as Persephone. I didn't like her look.
I
I
loved it.
loved her look.
I feel like I feel like Persephone would still wear like spring stuff, like even in the underworld.
I was like, Grover, bro, stay there. As soon as they didn't have enough pearls, I was like, of course Grover's gonna want to stay. She was trying to get the pipe the moment he showed up. She's like, oh, I never had a goat before. He was like,
Also, satyrs are known for like,
yeah, getting it in.
Yep.
Which is why every
Oh,
time
okay.
he's like Brock from Pokemon in this movie. Like he brings freaking Percy to the camp, and then they meet up with James Bond, the Centaur, and then Grover sees
He
those
goes off to the Aphrodite
girls, and he's like, "All right, y'all good? I'm gonna go over here."
Crazy.
So yeah,
bro.
Grover, he's about that satyr life, and
Definitely.
Persephone was definitely trying to get Rod. So that was cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Persephone also not in that book, but like Rosario Dawson kills it in that role, surprisingly, for such a
I
small
hope they
thing.
keep that.
That was a look though, in my opinion. I was like, girl, you working it?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't like it. They could have done
I
better.
like it. The actors in this movie, they were also, I was just like going through the IMDb page, and even then, like some of the really, really like small little bit roles, I was like, I know that actor, I know that actor, I know that actor, I know that actor, and they all just are like playing really small bit roles in this movie.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit offended that the black dude is Hephaestus because
What?
Hephaestus has
Which one is Hephaestus? Wait,
I
which
didn't
He's the
even
ugly
realize
one.
that.
yeah, Hephaestus
Hephaestus
is
is
like
the ugly
Wait.
the
Greek
ugly
god.
god.
I know, but like, wait.
What do you not know? What's your question?
No, he doesn't have a role in the film. Like you just
Oh,
kind of
okay.
see him in the
No,
background.
yeah, when they go to the gods, there's one black one, and then Kayla and I looked at each other, and she was like, "That better not be Hephaestus." And then
And
I
it-
was in the
and it
credits, and I
is?
was like, "Let's find out who is Conrad
Damn.
Coates," and he's Hephaestus
no.
because they're racist.
Yep.
Also,
That's horrible.
he played Drake's dad on Degrassi. That's
Stop.
little
Really?
fun fact. Yeah,
Drake.
was-
Wait, Jimmy had a dad?
Jimmy Brooks.
Right?
Yeah, his
Jimmy
name was
had a
Jermaine
dad.
Brooks.
I don't remember Jimmy's dad ever
Jermaine.
being on that show.
He probably talked to him about like basketball and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, this movie's
But yeah.
racist because they made the black man Hephaestus, and now I'm
Lord.
upset.
Yep, that's not
All right. Well,
cool.
who else is in this movie though? Sean Bean, Pierce Brosnan, Rosario Dawson,
Yeah.
Catherine Keener,
Yeah,
I like her. I
Catherine
feel like she was
Keener.
underutilized because she's such a good actress.
She was.
And this
Joe
one, she's just like
Pantoliano.
Percy. Oh, I love Joe, Bad Boys Captain.
Oh yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, Uma Thurman. Oh, I didn't know Benita Frederici is in this. She was on Chuck, which is a show that I absolutely adore.
Yes, it is.
Marie Avgeropoulos is in this, and we've used her in a fan cast before.
You mean I? No,
I was like,
just
did
kidding.
we?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she's like
you
a
used
daughter
her.
of. She's like a daughter.
She's an
of-
Aphrodite daughter, and so is Alexis
Aphrodite.
Knapp, who is well known for Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
Andrea Brooks, who is currently on Supergirl, is one of the Lotus waitresses.
I like that scene. That scene was dope.
That's also one of the scenes that's actually closest to the novel, to be honest.
I like the way that they did the like reveal where the guy's playing the French Connection thing.
Yeah, that's
He's
in
like,
the that's in the books.
Yeah,
too.
that was pretty dope. I was like, why is there a
Yeah.
French Connection pinball machine? But it makes sense because they have people there from like the 70s.
Forever.
That's wild.
That was
Yeah, and then you start noticing what I like about that is then after that you start noticing all the people from the different older decades. There's like people from the 50s walking around, people from the 80s, and you're like, oh crap.
That was a good scene.
Right, you start realizing.
And then
Yeah.
it explains why everybody was so aggressive at the beginning, right? They want you to stay.
No, they need you to stay. Serinda Swan, who is on Marvel's Inhumans. She was also on Smallville for a bit.
So there's just not a lot of people.
Yeah, Erica Sarah, who plays Hera, she was on Deadly Class. I really liked her on that show. Yeah, there's a lot of like actors in here who I'm just like, you were playing a bit role, and you've become people who I like recognize now. when I watch television or movies.
And Sean Bean didn't die, like he likes to do.
You right.
Yeah.
You
This is
right.
one of
That's
the
because he's
few.
Zeus.
Yeah,
It's
it's
because
just
he's Zeus.
being a big old drama queen.
That's how he is. That's how the gods are in general, to be honest. They just drama queens. But yeah, visuals and sound. What do you guys think?
They were fine for 2010.
The Minotaur looked cool. Throwing
Yeah.
cars, yeeting them across the freeway.
Yeah, the harpy looked like pretty good considering it's been 10 years.
Wait, is there a difference between Furies and Harpies?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a Fury.
I was going to say, I think that's a Fury.
Sorry, it was a Fury.
Whenever I hear
I don't think
Fury, I think of Harpies.
I think Furies are like a specific position. I think they're like they work for Hades, whereas
Okay.
a harpy, I think, is like maybe they're raised. I don't know.
I know
I
Harpies
don't
like the bird lady people. Bird people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The only reason I know what a harpy is because of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was going to say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. What's her name used to only have like harpies, and I was like, yes,
My.
I need a what do you call it? A deck like that.
I forgot
My
about that.
Valentine.
Yeah,
That's her name.
freaking My Valentine with all her harpies.
Yeah.
Her
I
name
think
is
this
My
time
Valentine.
around. Yeah, that's her name.
That's cute.
Yeah. Oh my god,
I
it's a
should-
pun. Just got
Yeah,
it.
it is.
I was today years old when I noticed.
I used to draw her a lot because I used to draw manga and anime.
I think we all went through that phase because I used to too.
Dude, I did more than a phase. I took classes and everything.
Oh, you did?
Nice.
I just taught myself like until I could make my own characters, and then I stopped.
Yeah, I took a class at like age 7.
Oh damn! I was older than that when I did it.
So yeah,
I was, like,
visuals and sound.
12.
I think watching it this time around, I felt like the visuals. I enjoyed the cinematography on the film. I thought the cinematography was actually pretty good, which it kind of reminded me of watching the first 2 Harry Potter films, which it
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty standard, like Chris Columbus kind of cinematography, where like he makes sure it's vibrant and he gets everything in the scene. But I wouldn't. There's not really a specific scene that I could point at and be like, oh my god, it's beautiful. I'm just like, we're gonna get the shot that we need. I don't know. Does that make
I don't
sense?
know. I like the look of Olympus though.
That's cool.
It's kind of dark, but I like the look of Olympus.
Looked Olympian.
Yeah, but he also showed up at like midnight, didn't he? So it was like,
Yeah,
it
he
had to
shows
be
up,
dark.
but it's Olympus. It doesn't have to be dark.
Right, it's Olympus. Just make it look like it does in the Hercules movie.
I think that's my favorite Olympus look.
It's very pretty. I like the water bending scene at the end where he's fighting the brother
That
from
was cool.
Supernatural.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I like the way that they showed. Actually, this is my favorite part, and I really liked it. The way they show his healing power, where like the water creeps up and it heals, and then it goes back down. That
Yeah.
I think is really cool. It's very, very subtle, but it does its job, and it looks real too. I really like that.
I want to say whether or not how I felt about the use of Riptide in this movie. Riptide is his sword. I feel like they did not use Riptide enough. Also, did not give it a name in this movie, which
I was gonna say,
sucks.
what is Riptide? But the sword.
Yeah,
Got it.
Riptide is the name of his sword.
So the sword was called Riptide, and they didn't know he was the son of Poseidon. Come on, guys.
Well,
get it
no.
together.
I think he's given. I think he's given the sword. No, I think because the pen. I don't remember when they give him the pen in the book. I think he uses it before he finds out he's a son of Poseidon, but I don't think it's given to him until after he finds out. Like it's not officially his until after he's been claimed. What's your favorite aspect of the film?
Grover.
That's
Grover
fair.
the goat.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Also, just Rosario Dawson, like looking at her.
These are all very fair choices.
I don't know. I didn't really like this movie. It's hard for me to pick something
I
out.
feel it. I feel that.
Demi, what's your
it's
favorite?
Yeah.
What's my favorite? See, I think I'm on with Gabby on this one. I'm not sure what my favorite. It's probably the characters. Even though they're not quite what I would want from the book adaptation, but they're not bad either. And I think the action is pretty decent.
Yeah, that's fair.
The scene with the Hydra.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna do the head cutting thing,
Like,
and then they
also,
did the
I
head
was like,
cutting
is he
thing.
going to do the Hercules thing? And then they did.
They
And I
have
was
to.
like, you guys, they did this in 1997. Like,
That's why you get a Hydra, so someone will
13
not
years
know,
before.
and they cut his head off.
Fun fact: that scene is not in the books. It is. I think it's a different. I don't think he fights a Hydra in the first book. I think he fights something else.
He wouldn't, because they were fighting that Hydra getting a pearl.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, does he meet Medusa in the book and like
Yeah,
cut
he
her head
does.
off?
He does. Yeah.
What?
He actually. Yeah, he kills his stepfather with Medusa's head at the end of that book or something.
Whoa, that's intense.
Wow. Wait, the internet says there's a mid-credit scene where a post-credit scene with
That's
that
true,
in
actually.
it.
It does. It's in a post-credit scene, but we actually want to see it, guys. Most people
fair.
didn't realize that there's a post-credit scene.
I didn't either. I
That's
turned it
fair.
off.
This is before post-credit scenes were really a thing.
Yeah, I turned it off this time too. He fights a chimera in the book.
Oh, that's
Oh
dope.
my god, it's better. Why? It's fine.
Yeah, he fights a chimera and gets poisoned.
No, I get it though, because a Hydra is much more famous than a Chimera, but Chimera would have been so much cooler to see on screen.
They're both rather cinematic.
I feel like the Hydra had already been done in like Hercules in 1997, and they had an opportunity to put something new and different on the screen, and they didn't take it.
They didn't take it. Yeah, I also like that in the books use a lot of real locations, like real landmarks. At that point in the movie, I was also really disappointed about that. He's supposed to be fighting a chimera at the Gateway Arch, and to save himself from his poisoning, he falls into the Mississippi River.
Oh, wow.
But like, didn't they go to an actual place too, or did they make that up? The one that they went to.
The one that they went to in the movie, they changed it. It's probably a real place. I'm sure that there is a Parthenon in Tennessee. It's just not where they go in the actual novel.
Okay.
Also, in the book, the gateway to the underworld, it's not the Hollywood sign. It's a record label in Hollywood. Called DOA, I believe.
DOA, as in what?
Dead on Arrival.
I was gonna say, is it Dead on Arrival or is it something else?
That's great, because you would be dead on arrival in the underworld.
Yeah, see, Riordan's just really good with like those types of things. Like they're clever names and stuff like that, and it's just that's missing from this film. It's missing the wit and the cleverness.
They played it safe when they should have played it to the fans. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think because it's not even just playing it to the fans. I think because Riordan does such a great job at writing these novels, like it's right there. You just got to do it. But speaking of which, we've been saying that Disney Plus is making a TV series of these novels.
Yes.
Which, thank God.
I don't know, man. I'm a little bit scared for them too, though. As much as I like Disney, Disney's also while they do understand how to put out a really great movies and really great products, they're also like sometimes overmanage things where, instead of they come out almost cookie cutter, I feel like. So I don't know.
I feel like you cannot make a worse adaptation than what they put on screen for this film.
Goodness.
We'll see. Well, also like it also depends on how much creative control Riordan has, right? Because I think also what helped with Harry Potter was J.K. Rowling had a lot of control over what they put out there,
and he had none over this film.
And
he tried to help them. Oh my gosh, that email is hilarious. I read that email and was like, "You're so right. Everything that you're writing in this email is so correct." Having seen the movie, like you're totally on.
I'm hoping there's like actual like contracts with a lot of creative control for what Riordan or Riordan. I don't know how to say his name.
I think
it's
for
the writer.
Rick. Yeah, call him Uncle Rick. We call him Uncle Rick.
Okay, I'm just going to call him the writer. I hope he has a lot more creative control, because then, not only will the fans have something great, but like he'll be happy with like an on-screen portrayal. Like it or not, they do have to care about the bottom line, and sometimes they have to sacrifice like individual appeal for like mass appeal.
So here's the thing. For years I've been saying if I had any two book series that I could redo in a film or television format, they would be the Beautiful Creature series, the Castor Chronicles, or it would be the Percy Jackson series. And if I did the Percy Jackson series, I would make it a TV series because, and once I read the synopsis of the first book, I was like, yeah, this totally makes a better TV series, because there are so many things that happen in the books that you just can't translate to a film.
Yeah, it's too quick.
And for years, fans have been trying to get Disney or anybody really to make a Percy Jackson series again. Disney just happened to be the best choice for it because they already like released the books through the Hyperion Publishing.
Oh, that's Disney's publishing?
Yeah, it's real. They're published through Disney Hyperion. I don't know if they're the same thing, but Disney's name is on all the books.
Oh, okay. So it makes sense that they would adapt the movie.
But Fox had the movie rights apparently, and now Disney owns Fox.
So it all works out.
Another reason why Disney bought Fox, revealing itself.
It only made sense that Disney be the one to do it. And they make really good for family entertainment.
They do. They're like the leaders in it.
So, and also for years, Rick has been like, hey guys, so if we did readapt Percy Jackson, would you guys want a movie? Would you want a TV show? Who would you guys want to make it? And now Disney's doing it. And on top of Disney doing it, Rick recently put up a tweet where he's writing the script for the pilot.
Oh, okay. So it's fine.
Nice.
Everything's going to be okay.
So, like, every piece of information that keeps coming out about this show, we're not even anywhere near casting, to be fair.
Yeah. And
But,
I hope
like-
they like cast age appropriate and all that.
And
because-
I think with Rick writing the show, they will be casting 12-year-old children to be playing these parts, as they should be.
they're like 10, 11-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Rick is going to age them up because the prophecy is very clear. We grow up with these characters. We go from ages 12 to 17 with them. Like Percy has until he's 16 to figure out what this prophecy means. And things change along the way. So it'll be fun to get to watch these kids who are going to get these roles. In the same way that we watch the kids from Harry Potter grow up, do the same thing with these kids from Percy Jackson.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm hoping it's good. I don't know if I'll watch it.
I certainly will. And with Riordan seems to be very inclusive with his novels, which is
Yeah.
really good. And the original Percy Jackson series is very white, but I feel like he will allow for them to open up.
Casting.
Yeah, I think they'll open up casting a lot more. And he also said that he's going to be very involved in like every aspect of this show.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Disney has been given like their budgets for their TV series on Disney Plus, like mini movie budgets. So it's
Well,
gonna
sure.
look dope.
They were like, we'll see how things go as the world changes.
I'm sure they probably still will. I don't think they're gonna drop the Mandalorian's budget or drop
Oh, no.
any of the MCU TV series budgets just because this whole pandemic is happening. Like I'm
No,
sure
I know, but like they've already started all their stuff. That's already been approved. It's probably already been budgeted for. It's like everything else that's coming that will likely be affected.
I'm sure that they're not gonna let a show that has so much Greek mythology and needs that many effects slip through their fingers.
I don't
We'll
know.
find out.
We'll see. We're gonna find out.
Especially because merchandising on this show could be insane. I'm finally gonna get to buy a Camp Half-Blood t-shirt. Oh, this is gonna be dope.
I mean, you can probably buy one right now, but
Yes, but it'll be an official like merchandise t-shirt.
I guess.
It's gonna be sick, and I'm excited. I'm just excited that we're gonna get another shot at the Percy Jackson series, and this
Yeah.
time around, it sounds like they're gonna get it right.
Yeah, it seems like this will probably be the good one. This will be good.
To me, it doesn't matter which studio did it, as long as we got another shot to try and get it right.
Yeah, I get that.
That's gonna be good. Let's be optimistic.
Gotta be hopeful in these times, and hopefully, it also leads to a Heroes of Olympus series. Sorry, kids, I want you on board for like the next 10 years of your life.
Kids.
They are whoever's
Grown
going to be
adults.
playing. Wait, no, whoever is playing these characters are kids. So there is
That's
a
true.
10,
Oh, you're
11,
right,
12-year-old
right.
out there
We're-
right now.
Or life, or at least until your early 20s.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys. I really want all 10 of these books to be adapted.
There's 10 books. Wow.
There's 5 Percy Jackson books and 5 Heroes of Olympus books. So I want all 10 of them. This is why I had to be on the podcast, because if Colin wasn't going to be here, somebody had to talk about the hopes for the show.
That's true because I don't have any, and I don't think Gabby does either.
I just want, because I know like this is one of those fandoms that's very vocal about how screwed it was. So I'm just in the corner like rooting for them to get a proper adaptation.
She's
'Cause
just
they
watching
were
from the
done
sidelines.
like kind of, yeah, they were done kind of dirty. And I'm like, I hope things get better. I think I've only really been invested in like one super invested in like one adaptation that was like Harry Potter.
What about Twilight?
Nah.
You
I
hear
didn't
about
like
the Twilight
Twilight
movies?
as much as Harry Potter. No, I was excited to see them, but it wasn't like,
She wasn't invested in how they came out.
Mm.
yeah, I didn't care as much as I cared about Harry Potter. Like if a Harry Potter movie missed something, I was like legitimately upset. Whereas like Twilight, I'd be like, whatever. They got the general story.
Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, I've been invested in about 5 different book adaptations.
Yeah.
And only
Also-
2 of them have come out great. So,
What was the other one?
Hunger Games.
Oh, Hunger Games. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, Harry Potter
That
and
one
Hunger
came out
Games
really
are,
well.
standard. And I guess I wasn't invested in Lord of the Rings, so that doesn't even count.
Yeah, me either. But apparently the movies are better than books.
I
that,
mean,
like,
I've
real?
tried. I've definitely tried to read the books on several occasions, and I would much rather watch the movie.
I'm just cheering from the sidelines, but I'm also being very like cautious because, or like I'm cautiously optimistic for this franchise because they have already been burned once. Just like I'm cautiously optimistic for the Avatar: The Last Airbender like live action show
But that one's
because
being made by the actual creators of the animated show.
no, I know, but like it's I mean it's the same thing as Percy Jackson, you know? Like
I think that's why I
Uncle
have more
Rick is
hope, though.
involved.
Yeah,
Uncle Rick's
Uncle Rick is
involved.
involved.
Yeah, I have some more hope because the two Avatar creators are involved a lot more and they're probably not going to really allow as many liberties as were taken before.
Yeah, I would hope they
Um
wouldn't want their own creation butchered again.
Again. Oh, so bad. I haven't even seen all of that movie. I've only seen the first like 15 to 20 minutes and I was like, "No, I can't." And I turned it off.
That's why we should do a Throwback Thursday for it.
Yes,
Hey, audience,
audience,
what do you
let
guys
us know.
think?
Don't
Let us know in the
torture
comments
me.
if
Please
you want us
no.
to do a Throwback Thursday for The Last Airbender.
Let
Don't
us know,
please,
guys.
Because
please
I
no.
think it'd be funny. And I've actually seen
I
this show.
I think it'd be hysterical. What are your overall opinions on this film?
I didn't like
Um,
it.
I thought it
Oh,
was fine.
wow.
It was cool to me. I didn't have anything to go against because I didn't read it. I was just like, this is a fun little story. Probably won't feel a need to revisit it, but it was a nice little couple hours.
Yeah, so I think it's enjoyable, but I would highly recommend that you read the books instead,
Makes sense.
I yeah,
or just watch the Disney Plus series when it
in
finally
like
comes out
3
in like
to
2 years
12 years. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
when we
um
finally get out of here.
Yeah, I didn't really like it, but I think I would have liked it if it had come out when I was a kid and I hadn't read the Percy Jackson books. Like if I had just gone in cold as a child, I would probably have like warm fuzzy feelings about this movie because it reminds me a little bit like on the edges of Sorcerer's Stone. When I was watching it now, I was like, this is fine, but I don't really like this.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
very fine.
Yeah, it's the first time that I actually committed to finishing it because I'd started it a few times before, like, but I don't count that as watching it because I
Yeah, I
would always
agree.
shut it off about like 20 or 30 minutes in and be like, I'm not interested in this. This time around, I was like, well, I have to see the whole thing, so we're gonna watch the whole thing. But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I don't really like it very much.
I just realized that I'm super excited to see what the gods are like in the Disney Plus series because some of them have some really cool like Aphrodite, her appearance changes until she finally looks like who you're most attracted to or who you're in love with.
Oh, she's like Desire from the Sandman comics.
I'm super freaking stoked now that I'm thinking about what the gods could look like.
That sounds fun.
It'd be interesting. What does Poseidon look like? Does he have gills? I'm just kidding.
I think so. I don't remember much about what Poseidon. I mean, Poseidon looks a lot like Percy, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that makes sense. They are
Percy,
related.
well, yeah, but they're gods, so they can look however they want. But most of the time, people when they meet Percy say that he looks a lot like his father.
Oh, it's
You have your
very like
father's eyes.
Harry Potter. You have your but not your eyes. You.
He does. He has his father's sea green eyes.
Aw, it's like the opposite of Harry Potter, where like he has his mother's eyes and they are green as well.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, that was our Throwback Thursday for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. Even though we spent more time talking about the books than we did the actual movie itself,
And
that
like
should
other
tell you.
adaptations as well.
Yeah, that should tell you all you need to know about this movie.
All right.
Sorry, Chris Columbus. I love Harry Potter.
I like all the actors in it, though. I do hope that Logan, Alexandra, and Brandon get like cameos or like roles in the Disney Plus series somehow. Like cast them as gods or something. I would be so down.
I hope so too. Also, it's like it feels like that movie just had a lot of like people that didn't listen to the writer, the original writer.
Guys, if you have not read Riordan's emails about this movie, please do. But yeah, that's
Anyway,
that, guys. Thanks for listening.
let us know what you think about Percy Jackson and everything else we've talked about so much in this last hour.
But mostly Percy Jackson.
Yeah, mostly. Let us know what you think about Rosario in that dress.
Yo, you
I
should,
don't
though.
see the feel of the dress, guys. I don't get it. We'll talk about this more later.
We're getting off track.
Off mic.
Off mic.
Off mic. But on mic, thank you to everyone. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Demi, for editing and representing the fandom because I couldn't do it. I don't think Gabby could do it.
Nope.
And Colin's not here. But also in our last episode, I said I wasn't going to thank Colin at the end, so it kind of worked out. I'm not going to. Thank you, Gabby, for finding your way back to us.
Yeah, I was really sad, man. It was not okay.
Well, thank you for being happier,
Better.
hopefully.
Yes, a little bit better, yes.
Good. If you want to find us and talk to us, check on Gabby and Colin and Demi and me. You can talk to us on Twitter at y'all_different, or you can talk to us on Tumblr or Instagram at Creative Differences Podcast, or you can find us on Facebook if you just search for Creative Differences, which might be how you found this in the first place. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba.
You can find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosaurus.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. I am going to still try and get all three of these guys on an episode so I can finally disappear.
Good luck.
Thanks again for listening.
Yep, it's
Bye.
been different.
Oh, you don't have one for Colin?
I don't. I was trying to think of one. It never came to me.
You can find Colin at Grover the Goat. Grover going down.
Wait, what was it? What was the last one?
Grover going down.
Grover going down. Like on Persephone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I was going to say at Otters R Us, but
Ooh. Ooh.
Bye, guys.
So awkward. Bye.